Xiao Mao grabbed his head and said with a smile, "Good is a very standard word. XXX." The three broke up. Xiao Ding and Xiaoqi changed out of the car and drove the car to Kaifeng. The little evil walked in the direction of nearby Nakajou Mountain. An imminent storm is slowly unfolding under the plan of the little evil. This is a dog-eat-dog fight drama. Xiaoxie also thought about the relationship between the Demon King of the Ghost Valley of the Black Turban Killer and the Shenyu Gate, because Xiaoxie got into this trouble in order to kill the child blood bear, and he felt that the child blood bear was not masked, which meant that he had a lot of status among the Black Turban Killer. It may also be that the Black Turban Killer is a master of the courtesy, and why would the Shenyu Gate avenge the child blood bear? After thinking about it, Xiaoxie felt that since the child blood bear was not masked, he could make friends with the people of the Shenyu Gate at any time, and the friendship would not affect him to commit murder. It is also possible that his younger brother Tong Bloodwolf has something to do with the Shenyu sect. The most important thing about this question is that he wants to know what is the relationship between the Black Turban Killer and the Shenyu sect. In the end, he came to a conclusion: the relationship is very weak. The reasons are: first, Tong Blood Bear became famous first, and there is no need to be a killer because he is one of the 9 demons. Even if he is a killer, he is also temporarily instigated, which means that Tong Blood Bear is dead, and other people will be angry for him. Second, the Black Scarf Killer is an organization that takes money and can kill even relatives. They cannot have moral dealings with anyone, and the Shenyu Gate must know about this kind of thing, and the Shenyu Gate can use the killer as long as he has money. Therefore, Xiaoxie concluded that the Shenyu Men operation was to avenge Tong Blood Bear personally, not for the organization of the Black Turban Killer. And what's the use of the little evil idea? It is useful for him to judge how deep the acquaintance and intimacy of the Scarf Killer and the Shenyu sect is, because if the two sides have a deep friendship, Xiao Ye must find a dark and windy night for a month to let them fight in the shortest and most compact time. If it is the opposite, then Xiao Ye does not have to think about shaking hands when the two sides meet. Xiaoxie has decided to act late at night, and it doesn't matter if the sky is dark or not, because the two sides are not brothers, and then Xiao Na's confidence in his acting skills, so he made this decision. Success is not accidental, in addition to the right time and place, but the opportunity is to be counted as their own creation. The forest leaves are green, the birds are happy to chirp softly, chirping around the mountains, the soft wings are fluttering, if the blue sky and white clouds are there, free, happy, and leisurely. The murmuring of the forest springs and the symphony of the mountains and forests are even more comfortable. The little evil has arrived at a small village under Zhongtiao Mountain. The first thing he did was not to lure the enemy, but to find the black dog first, because he wanted to eat the black dog and his luck would be better. It's also a way to create opportunities. He also wants the Black Scarf Killer to be pervasive. As long as he arrives in a remote place, he will be sniped, such as the mountains outside Lanzhou City, and the mountains and forests outside Haikan City. So he chose the small village of Nakajou Mountain Road as a place to lure the Black Turban Killer. 1 day. 2 days. It's a pity that 2 days have passed, and there is no movement at all, and Xiaoxie feels that waiting for death is not a way. Anyway, the Black Turban Killer has branches everywhere, so it is better to go to a nearby town to lead them out. 2 days ago, he was not in a hurry, because Xiao Ding and they had not yet arrived in Kaifeng. Of course, the little evil has to take action, and the way to attract people out is to attract people's attention first, so the little evil pretends to be crazy and stupid along the way, singing and throwing stones, losing dogs when there are dogs, and sometimes embarrassing people without dogs. Was so frustrated by him. Sure enough, someone was hooked up soon, and the little evil horse with the spirit was alerted. It's intriguing, so he pretends not to know and walks forward. From morning to evening, calculating the distance, it is only more than 70 miles from Shaoyuan town to Kaifeng, and it can be reached by running a shift, so he stopped in Shaoyuan town, bought some steamed buns and returned to a broken temple outside the town to rest. He had already guessed that the black market killers would definitely be dispatched to stop him at night, and he also calculated how to make the black market killers angry first, and then lead them to the Fengzhen temple. Of course, this would inevitably lead to a fight. If you want to fight, you have to exercise and warm up, so Xiaoxie has taken out the flying knife and practiced for a while, and practiced the great compassion palm and felt very satisfied. The moonlit night is rising, although it is the last quarter moon, but the moonlight is like a mother's eye, light on the earth. It's extremely comfortable. The third watch is over. Boom! Burst into the air. More than 20 black shadows have sneaked towards the entrance of the temple like night cats, and they whispered quietly, fearing that uncle would be discovered by Yang Xiaoxie. Xiaoxie he was sleeping, he was counting the footsteps. As soon as he saw someone sneaking in, his right hand raised the flying knife like an arrow out of the xian, and shot out with a rapid sound of breaking the air, and his figure immediately jumped to the top of the temple to probe, and said with a smile, "Hey brother, don't worry. Every time I am killed by you, I am so tired, so faceless, let's solve it once today, save trouble." After the words were finished, his figure was like a gust of wind rushing towards a masked man on the right, and the palm of his hand was raised to pat and hit the man's chin, and one turned over and ran out of the broken temple and went straight to Kaifeng. Chase. These black turban killers, but they have several experiences in fighting the enemy with the little evil, and they don't dare to be negligent. More than 20 figures have chased down with an order, and it can be seen from their skills that the black turban messenger Ling Qian sent by the first-class masters, he is very optimistic about the little evil. Xiaoxie uses the tactic of fighting and running, first arousing their anger, and then leading them to kill the disciples of the Shenwu sect, which is more effective. Soon there are only more than 10 miles left from the Fengzhen temple, and the time has been 3 watches. Look at the sky and the moon has been slanting westward, almost. The little evil shouted, "Bastards, you guys are really sticky like honey." As soon as he rushed back, the 2 flying knives were already facing the oncoming black scarf killer, and with a slap of his palm, he repelled the killer with a move to hit the golden bell backwards, Chonghong through the sun, and the little evil had shot back again, and he used his world's first running skill to go straight to the Fengzhen temple. This flick can shake off the black scarf killer. The little evil is like a dark night lightning, strangely swept towards the Fengzhen temple. People came, and had seen the towering inspiration tower. He roared, trying to lead out the Shenwu men disciples, only to see his feet non-stop. His mouth roared, "The dead man of the Shenwu men? Master, I'm here. What are you hiding? I also brought more than 20 helpers, "See who killed the deer today." He rushed into the dark, and sure enough, there were many people hiding in the dark, and the little evil beat people as soon as he saw them. "Kill the idea there!" A roar was heard, and in an instant 30 or 40 people were gathered around. All the long knives are out, like a deadly ghost covering the little evil. As soon as Xiaoxie saw that the plan had been accomplished, he immediately shot out 10 throwing knives, and immediately shot them backwards, and shouted, "Fuck you bastards, I'm going to wipe you all out today." "He's running backwards! Chase!" shouted, and dozens of figures had chased after Xiaoxie. The current situation is that the two tigers face each other, showing their teeth and claws, and the anger is abnormal, and the little evil is the fat between the two tigers. As long as the fat disappears, the tigers have to kill each other to feed themselves. Xiaoxie flew very fast, and had already broken away from the Shenmue gate for about 100 steps, and also ran into the black scarf killer who was chasing. Xiaoxie rushed up and shouted, "Masked bastard, you are dead! You don't know that, uncle? I am a person from the Shenmue gate, look where you are running today." As soon as he finished speaking, the two-handed flying knife immediately turned to the black market killer, and immediately turned around and rushed towards the Shenmue gate. This can make these outlaws unconscious, and the Shenmue gate thinks that Xiaoxie has bought the black scarf killer as a helper. And the black scarf killer thought that Xiaoxie was a person from the Shenmue gate, and the touch on both sides had become a mess, with noise, wailing, sword hitting the master, and the sound of the wind. There is a talisman of the King of Hades, covering the entire night sky, with severed limbs and stumps, blood spattered in 5 steps, and the body is all over the field, and the end is unimaginable.